All right, so this week's topic of Hamuna Mondays was trusting ourselves while acknowledging the messenger. So the reason I chose this topic was only because about 5 or 6 people, honestly, in the past week, it's come to my attention that they brought similar topics up related to it. And I was just like, you know what, like, why not make a class out of it and really like give it a better breakdown, a different perspective type thing. So this is in regards to like you doing something, you're going about an occupation, a job, or pursuing something or someone, and you're trusting it. Like, you can trust yourself. You think that this is a really good job, or this is a really good occupation, or this is a really good girl or guy to pursue, and this and that. But yet a messenger will then come in, or you'd hear from someone else to steer you a different way. So now, how do you differentiate trusting yourself but at the same time acknowledging the fact that, you know what, what this person said is actually steering me away from it? So maybe it's Hashem coming in to like guide me in the right direction, or and think it's a more positive route, as opposed to it is a possibility that it could be the Satan and it's kind of like pushing you away because you're on a good path. How do you differentiate that? How do you establish it? So throughout the whole conversation, we were talking, obviously it was a more like bigger speech. It was a lot of more details, a lot more examples. So like one example we gave, this might be a quick summary, we'll totally see about it, but was in regards to like dating. I don't know, a lot of the members that come to the class are at that age of dating, just going out, finding a guy, finding a girl, and they're like not struggling. Obviously, I'm not saying they're struggling. I'm saying that it's a process. It's the whole concept of like, it's a process. And it's a tough thing because some of these people feel like, you know what, wow, like I met this girl and I think she's an amazing girl, right? But then once they talk about the girl to a friend, the friend has so much to say about that girl, whether it's stuff in high school or upbringing stuff or family drama and this and that. And that then will then steer them away from that girl or like person. And personally, I think that that's a very popular scenario that happens a lot, especially in like the whole that whole like shidduch aspect. And I feel like that's something that is a completely fair question. So now how would I go about it? How do I think that it should be taken? I think this. One, if you like the person and you genuinely feel a certain way towards the person, that means something. As well as acknowledging the fact that whatever your friend or somebody else is bringing up onto you, that is like a whole different, like Hashem granted them that access to that person at that time. Rather, you didn't see this girl in high school. You didn't see this girl's, you didn't hear about this girl's family experiences, this and that. Again, from the source, aka her. And because of that, what did that just do? That just planted a new seed. It gave you a new perspective. And that's where I feel like that's the problem. Like, that isn't okay. Why? Because I firmly believe, and we came up to with this during the class, is that a messenger from Hashem will approach and come in and water a seed that already exists. As opposed to the Satan will come in and plant a new seed. And that's the difference, okay? So like the messenger from Hashem, let's say I had doubts, I think the girls are really amazing and this and that. And now this person comes in and it's like, oh, but I'm kind of getting the vibe that this. So then you ask a friend and then they confirm it, okay? But again, you already had your eyebrows raised to it. So you already had the concerns were already made to you. And that was just like confirmed it. As opposed to when you're going in, so that's more of like a water scenario. You had the seed, and hearing your friend, they just watered it and allowed it to grow into something else, like just grow. As opposed to somebody that's going in like, oh, I think this girl's amazing, and I don't see any negatives in her, and this and that. I don't have any red flags, or this and that, or any red flags that were brought up, we've dealt with, and this and that. Having somebody else come in now and be like, oh, what about this? What about this experience? That I know this about the person, I know that. The fact is, You don't know that information. That information was not given to you by the source, and rather it's just the way that that person experienced the individual. So like, again, the way I would look at it is like Hashem granted them that access to that person at that time, and that steered them away from that person. So they're not meant to be together. But why is that person now going to use their experience with the person to influence you on your decision when Hashem did not grant you that access? You didn't experience this girl in high school doing this. You didn't experience the family drama, this and that. At the end of the day, people change from day to day, from year to year. And just because they have this, your friend has a past experience with this person or heard about this, doesn't mean you have to acknowledge it, especially if you didn't even have that seed initiated in your head, that the concept of even such an object could have been a thing. But now that it's being planted in your head, you're now steering a certain way. That is the Satan. When it's creating that doubt, that amalek, that suffix, that like doubt in it. That makes sense. But now watering, if you already had the doubt in your head already and it's just being watered, that easily could be a messenger. So that's the thing. It's like understanding the concept of if it's a messenger from God, it's just watering something that already exists in you. It's not planting a new seed in you. Planting a new seed, that's the Satan. That's boom, taking your attention away from the main focus and going into the side. Like, oh, I'm going to give you this thing to think about now. And you have to understand that's exactly how life is. Life, people approach life as this, oh, I'm just going to cruise through life. But you have to understand, every positive that you do, the Satan is right there behind you, trying to push you away or like convince you to do something else or steer you away from it. So you have to understand, you can't go casually. It's actually extremely competitive. Life is competitive from the aspect of you're fighting against the Satan every single day of your life. And when you understand that, you can't just be lax. It's like you're going up an escalator that's kind of going relatively slow, and you're walking. You're gonna remain in the same exact place. But now, if the escalator speeds up and you just continue your speed, you're actually going downwards. The escalator is gonna win. But now, if you start running on a slow escalator, you're actually just gonna go above it. You're just gonna pursue it and go completely past it. That's something you have to understand as well, and that's life. That as much as normally when you feel like it's so difficult, something's extremely hard, most of the time it's the right decision. And that's, the harder it is, the better it is, because Hashem's giving you the strength to do it. But at the same time, the Satan is the whole Satan's goal is to make you fail, cause you to fail, cause you to grab your attention and put it elsewhere, not to the things that are good. And when you understand that, it's a very simple concept of being able to grasp that, oh, this is the Satan and this is a messenger, to differentiate the two. So with that, that was pretty much the summary of what we were talking about. If anybody has like any comments or anything like that, feel free to let me know, write them down, or just reach out to me. But yeah.